Good evening. Welcome to Diet by Genocide and Diet Disease. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to do a little bit of lighter side. We're going to show the benefit of owning pets. How many people realize there's 10 benefits of owning a pet that they know of. And I was surprised when I knew a couple of them when I was looking at this stuff a while back because I thought I was going to New York with this program. I have a vet friend that sent me some information and stuff, and I was amazed at some of the things. So you all might know this stuff, but I didn't know it, so you might be surprised with some of this tonight. I do want to recap just a little bit because we've been trying to cover the whole spectrum. We've been kind of hitting the hard parts, the negative in a sense parts. And so now, after tonight, this is just a lighter one. We have one that we'll be doing in the future on toxic chemicals in the home and what it does to our bodies and outgassing. But after that, all of it will be starting on nutrition, the 8 natural laws of health and nutrition, the exercise, the water, sunshine and temperance and air, the rest, trust and divine power. So we'll take a close look at each of those and see how they affect our health. And as we progress down that ladder for better health, each step that we do helps. We've already discovered the obesity problem in the United States, and a lot of that is caused by the food industry because they make addictive foods. So even people who are trying to diet, we all have heard people, I've tried to diet, it's easy to do, I've done it 100 times, right? Diets don't work, lifestyle change works. And with all these diets, they're so addictive. We've covered diet and disease as far as cancer and diabetes and heart failure and all that kind of stuff. So tonight we'll take a peek at the doggies and the little meows and see what they do for our lives. This is how pets will affect our health. Can animals improve our health? And can animals hurt our health? So let's take a short journey to answer those questions and see the relationship between man and beast. We were given a lot of animals at creation. Probably everybody here tonight and anybody watching would agree with the fact that there's a lot of fun in the animal industry and we have a lot of enjoyment watching animals and stuff. And I know I have, and we were real blessed because we have deer that we feed all the time and finally they eat out of our hands. It took 2 years, and so those are our pets. We don't have to take them to the vet. We don't have to do a lot of things. All we have to do is buy a bag of carrots every month and talk to them nicely and have a good day. Animals play an important role in many people's lives. In addition to seeing eye dogs and dogs that can train to detect seizures, animals can be used for occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical rehab to help patients recover. They're also valued companions. We love our pets. And most people think of their pets as members of the families. And a lot of us would probably be a little embarrassed if people walked in and heard how we talk to our animals sometimes and how we talk to our children. So some of that may have to be reversed. Some research studies have found that people who have pets have healthier hearts, stay homesick less often, make fewer visits to the doctor, get more exercise, less depressed, impact on physical health. Companion animals, they improve heart health by lowering blood pressure, regulating the heart rate during stressful situations. Did you know that? They can lower our blood pressure. 2002 study measured the changes in the heart rate and blood pressure among people who had a dog or a cat compared to those who did not. Under stress, people with a dog or cat lower resting heart rates and blood pressure measures at the beginning of the experiment than non-pet owners. People with a dog or a cat are less likely to have spikes in the heart rates and blood pressure while performing the math test that they had. Their heart rates and blood pressure returned to normal more quickly. Absolutely amazing. They also had fewer errors in their math when their pet was present in the room. I can understand that one. All these findings indicate that the dog or a cat lowered the risk of heart disease as well as lowering stress. That performance was improved. That's one of my favorite pictures. That's a friend of ours. That's Dash and a rescue cat. It shows you how mean those pit bulls are, huh? They're just a lot of fun to watch. Similar study found that having your dog in the room lowered blood pressure better than taking popular blood pressure medications, ACE inhibitors, when you're under stress. This isn't things the medical world in general likes to hear. These are just known facts. Between diet, as we talked, a whole food plant-based, we've already showed you literally hundreds of reasons why whole food plant-based is the best diet that anybody can be on. When you take these other factors in with animals and lifestyle changes, you get to feel good, because I don't know anybody that likes to be sick. Other research indicated the simple act of stroking a pet can help lower blood pressure and cholesterol. And dogs have health benefits. Let's take a little video here, a short one, and hope you enjoy this too.
We've long known about the ability of dogs to lift our spirits, heal the soul. But tonight, something new, very specific physical ways your four-legged pal can improve your family's health. Here's ABC's Cecilia Vega.
What if you could trade everything in your medicine cabinet for this?
It's basically a furry, four-legged life support system cleverly disguised as a pet. So what I'm telling you, it might be Poodle instead of Prozac, it might be Labrador instead of Lipitor, it might be Beagle instead of Benacar.
An anaconda instead of aspirin. Veterinarian Marty Becker wrote a whole book about the healing power of pets. And now, scientists in San Francisco think they too may be onto something. They say dust found in homes with dogs may actually make kids less likely to develop asthma. The benefits of having Alex George, Raven, Lightning, and Sheldon the Labradoodle don't end there. So much for an apple a day, Australian researchers discovered people with dogs visit the doctor less. Lassie! One study found that simply watching this old girl calmed nerves. That connection with animals thought to trigger a drop in chemical levels linked to stress. Have heart disease? You might want to consider getting a cat. Researchers in Minnesota found those who never owned one were 40% more likely to die from a heart attack. The calming purr might actually soothe anxiety.
Or it's that close physical contact, that affection connection we share, that's where you get the healing power of pets.
Fido may be our antidepressant, our cholesterol killer, our lifesaver. Now, if only man's best friend could help solve world peace. Who knows? Maybe they can. Cecilia Vega, ABC News, Los Angeles.
So it's interesting. Did you get that? 40% higher heart attacks, people that don't have a pet. Another study, blood pressure, heart rate, and behavior distress in healthy children aged 3 to 6 at 2 different doctor visits for routine physicals. That's what they found. At one visit, a dog unrelated to the child was present in the room, and at the other visit, the dog was absent. So when the dog was present, the child had lower blood pressure measures, lower heart rates, and behavioral distress. Isn't that amazing? Just for the fact that the animal was there and the child seen the presence of it. Findings suggest that the social support a pet provides make a person feel more relaxed and decrease stress. The social support provided by a pet might also encourage more social interactions with people, which is true. How many people here, people watching, you ever walk by somebody that had a dog they're walking and you say, hi, isn't that dog cute, and this and that? And we get to talk with people. And we're made to be around people. We're not made to be alone. Benefits of owning a dog. Let's watch this one and see what she has to say for us.
I have to warn you right from the beginning, you probably will want to get a dog after watching this video. Owning a dog comes with a number of benefits for your health. Studies show that pet owners have fewer cardiovascular problems, lower blood pressure, and reduced cholesterol levels. Part of the reason might be the regular physical activity that comes with taking a dog for a walk. However, this might also be connected to the mental support a dog provides you with. Almost any type of pet is an instant cure for loneliness. Taking care of the pet gives you something to do, occupies your mind, and forces you to communicate. If you want your dog to sit, you have to tell him to sit. Dog owners are also forced to communicate more with other people. When you're walking your dog and you meet another person walking their dog, you instantly have something in common. Studies indicate that 50% of pet owners view their pet as a member of their family, and 25% of the participants in relationships reported that the pet is a better listener than their spouse. Understandable. A dog doesn't talk back, doesn't judge you, or disagree with you. Plus, it's ready to cuddle whenever you are. But seriously, this is above all a reminder for all of us that oftentimes when we are dealing with a problem in our life, we just need to talk it out, and we need the people around us to simply be there and listen. We all feel the need to be loved and accepted, and owning a dog will give you exactly this type of feeling. He's always happy to see you when you come home, and they will always be loyal to you. Dogs provide you with a sense of certainty and security that we so desire in this uncertain world. All in all, dogs are awesome. They improve your mental and physical health, give you a purpose to your day, and with a dog by your side, you will never have to feel lonely again. But before you go and adopt a dozen dogs from the local animal shelter, check in with yourself as to why you want to get a pet in the first place, and make sure you're ready to take care of the little guy first. If owning and taking care of a dog makes you happy, then by all means, go do it. Just don't forget that while your four-legged darling requires your love and attention, so do the people around you. And now it's time for the ultimate question. Are you a dog person or a cat person? Although, aren't most people dog people?
Interesting, isn't it? I used to joke and I tell people, and she mentioned how dogs, they are so loving and stuff. I think God gave them to us to teach us a lot of things with love and patience. And if you don't think dogs are good, just take your spouse and the dog and lock them in the trunk of your car, drive around town for an hour, and when you open the trunk, see which one's happy to see you. I think we know the answer to that one. Another study, elderly individuals had dog or cat were better able to perform certain physical activities deemed activities of daily living. That's what we called ALDs. Such as the ability to climb stairs, to bend, kneel, or stoop, take medication, prepare meats, bath, bathe, and dress oneself. German study collected pet information, dog, cat, horse, fish, bird, and other pet ownership from over 9,000 people at 2 different times. Researchers found that people who said they had a pet in both 96 and 01 had the fewest doctor visits, followed by people who had acquired a pet by 2001. The group of people who did not have a pet at either time had the highest number of doctor visits. And similarly, a study of women in China found that those who were dog owners had fewer doctor visits, took fewer days off sick from work, and exercised more often than non-dog owners. Children, do they have an emotional development with pets? When a child has no brothers or sisters, especially then, research shows that pets help children develop greater empathy, higher self-esteem, increased participation in social and physical activities. Harvard had something to say about report dogs to reduce stress. Let's see what Harvard has to say, John.
He never takes the trash out. He's always leaving stuff around the house.
He's mostly lazy. He's mostly just sleeping on the couch.
She's more of an aesthetic contributor more than a functional contributor. She looks good.
He doesn't like being cleaned. So, yeah, he doesn't like showering now.
He's a fabulous roommate. He's one of the best guys you could have. He's dependable. He's always there for me. And he's a dog.
What we found is people who own dogs are more likely to reach the guidelines for physical activity, lowering blood pressure and cholesterol, reducing stress levels, reducing cortisol levels, and increasing oxytocin. And then for your spirit, connection with the dog, connection with neighbors around you, and giving you a sense of purpose.
My dog's name is Charles River. We call him Charles. People call him Chuck, Charlie. I just like Charles. And he has lived at Harvard for now 3 years.
I couldn't imagine being in Wigglesworth without Duke. I think he's the best part of our room, for sure. Just kidding.
It's absolutely a daily occurrence that we have people coming up to us saying, oh my gosh, I miss my dog. And, you know, you just see the smiles that he puts on people's faces.
Students will come in sometimes kind of anxious. We know that they want to say something to us, but we don't know what it is. And then they just start petting him, and they start saying what it is we know that they wanted to say.
I've had students come to study break and be like, oh, I'm just here for the dog. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
matter what happens over the course of a day, you take him for a walk, and 2 minutes into the walk, you don't remember what you were upset about.
Especially in the wintertime, it's easy to just put your head down and disappear. But we're outside so much now, 5 or 6, 7 miles a day maybe.
It's something we can rally around, and it's something that brings all of us joy. We're able to really connect in a level that's very different than connecting about social studies or biology, because a laugh together is a real strong, powerful way of bonding, and dogs enable that laughter.
Oh, wait! You're stuck! Honey!
Laughter, and like the Bible says, laughter is good medicine. Animals are just fantastic. I miss having big dogs, but we got a nice cat, and it's going 18 years old, so we like Mr. Noah. Researchers also use animals to temporarily provide companionship to children with health and mental health problems. Elderly people who may not have had energy resources for living pet. And I know that from working in hospitals and mental hospitals. Some people were allowed pets and stuff, and the behavior of the patients was much easier to control. Not just because you had leverage with the pet, but there is that healing power of having a pet, and somebody to talk, and somebody that doesn't talk back at you. And some positive findings of interacting with a therapy dog: reduced levels of pain and anxiety among hospitalized children and adults, as well as increased focus and interaction among children with autism and other development disorders. Nursing home settings, interaction with visiting dogs led to more social behaviors, more interaction among residents, less loneliness. That's from the National Center of Health. Some of the health benefits of having a pet. Center of Disease Control. We wouldn't think of disease control for having pets. Let's look at some benefits real quick. Decreased blood pressure, decreased cholesterol levels, decreased triglyceride levels, decreased feelings of loneliness, increased opportunities for exercise and outdoor activities, increased opportunities for socialization. In another study, we found children with autism spectrum disorder were calmer while playing with guinea pigs in a classroom. 10 minutes in supervised group playtime with guinea pigs, their anxiety levels dropped. And if you were following some of our other talks that we had, we saw last week the effect of color food diets and food. These are things a lot of people, you all wouldn't think are dangerous and hard to the health. But yet, if you looked at that one video that I showed, when you seen that little 8-year-old that had ADHD and mom eliminated all food coloring diet, they showed his handwriting, and 2 weeks later, you wouldn't know it was the same child. The writing was clear and direct. The other was scribbly in a hurry. And that's just from getting rid of food colorings. And they're all carcinogenic. They're cancer producing. And so unless you get something that says colored by beets or carrots, don't go with natural. That's a deception in the food industry. Natural doesn't necessarily be what you may think natural is. Because they use the Cochino-Lite, those things, they're animals, insects, so they call it natural. Just like when you eat food, when they call beef, a hot dog 100% beef, because whether it's eyeballs and all the other stuff they put in there, it all comes from the cow, so technically it's 100% beef. Deceptions, it's worth your trouble to learn some of these deceptions in the food industry. How can you have laws like orange juice? It only has to have 10% by volume to call it 100% natural. How can you have labeling that says 100% fat-free when the only ingredient is olive oil, which is 100% fat? So your health is worth it. Take your health back. And that's how we beat the system. We're not going to beat big industries with money and courtroom battles. It just doesn't work. They have so much money, they'll bury us. If you quit buying their products and stuff, things change. Also had better social interactions. The children were more engaged with their peers. The research suggests that the animals offered unconditional acceptance, making them a comfort to the children. But there are some cautions and warnings. We have to use our heads. I mean, animals can carry disease. They can do other things with us. But just like children, they carry disease too. And if you don't think so, if you had children, you put them in a daycare center, How many times your children come home and end up with a cold, a flu bug, chicken pox? So we have to use common sense. But here's some of the warnings. A righteous man regards the life of his animal. So Proverbs, even God was telling us, he gave us all these beautiful animals in creation for our pleasure and their pleasure and joy. But a righteous man, we regard the life of our animals. We're not cruel to the animals. Although pets come with many benefits, there's something else we need to know, and they sometimes carry harmful germs that can make people sick. The disease people get from animals are called zoonotic diseases. It's hard to know which animals could be carrying the zoonotic disease, especially since animals carrying these germs can often look healthy and normal. So here's some tips. Take your pet to its vet regularly so it stays in good health. Practice good hygiene around your pets so they don't pass germs to you. These are simple things we do, and these are things we should be doing anyways. Learn about diseases that different types of animals can spread, and just in case. When pets are good to us, we need to be good to them. Do you agree? Yeah. So in closing, I just want to encourage us that even if we don't own pets, that when we see people with pets, we can interact with people. We can do things with homeless pets, as we call them and stuff. So many are euthanized, thousands every day in the country, because there's just no room for all these abandoned. There's a lot of abused pets. So in summary, we look at the big picture again with health. Health begins on the inside out and then all around. And so toxic chemicals in our homes, we have what they call outgassing, which most people aren't aware of. And we'll see something in the future on that with Dr. Joyce Woods, who has her doctorate's degree in studying indoor air pollution. And you'll be amazed with what happens. Outgassing, simply and quickly, when you go to the grocery store and go down the cleaning aisles, laundry aisles, you know how you smell all those perfumes from all these sealed boxes that aren't supposed to leak? That's called outgassing, that you smell. When you go home, though, we put some in the kitchen, some in the bathroom, so we don't smell it all like there, but they're still outgassing. Just like if you had a can of spray paint or something, 2 years later you go to use it, and nothing there. Well, where did it go? It outgassed. And so we breathe that stuff in. So when we look at it, between toxic chemicals in the home and diet, the food that we eat, you're looking at 85-90% easily of common diseases that can be caused by those or reversed by those. So we're going to see all this stuff in the near future. Hope to see you again. Appreciate you coming. Look forward to next time we visit. Till then, take your health back. Thank you.